Taste of Dragons Gaming Podcast. We eat sandwiches and play games. Taste of Dragons Gaming Podcast. A podcast for everyone's day.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of Taste of Dragons, the Toddcast, the video game podcast that all you Astrobots listen to. This week, to Valhalla, the gods and bots have fallen. The news is getting weird. Our topic is a console exclusive. And our dragon this week is Meeting Molecules, composer Kenneth C. Young. And as always, my name is Brian.
My name is Troy.
I'm Amanda.
And I'm Joe.
Hey guys, so we're doing things a little differently this week.
That's right.
Or going back to the way things were several months ago, unfortunately.
Take me back, Brian. Whisper sweet nothings in my ear.
We were nostalgic for that time where we weren't allowed to go outside, and
I was getting used to like seeing people sometimes every once in a while doing a podcast. No. Florida says, go back home. and lock it back
everywhere
down.
should say go back home. So we are doing this separately. We are going back to the separate cast, the quarantine cast, if you will.
taking it back.
Where we are.
It's a remote
taking it back.
thing.
They are recording in their house, and we are recording in ours.
It's like Coke
Lewis
Classic.
will be back next week. Yeah.
No, this is
Lewis
like new
will be
Coke.
back next week.
Yeah.
Coke Classic is what we usually like.
Lewis will hopefully be back next week, and he'll be recording in his own house. So we'll see how that goes. Doing 3 different houses versus just the 2.
That'll be like new Coke,
And,
because we've never done that before.
Yeah. So how's your guys' week been this week?
I mean, pretty PlayStation 5 filled, man. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, straight up apologies for our slacking social media, but your boy here's playing PlayStation 5, okay? Maybe there's not as many posts. Maybe I'm trying to beat some scores in Astrobot. I don't know. Maybe we'll talk about that later.
Since we talked last week, all of us who pre-ordered a PlayStation 5 did receive our PlayStation 5s. We are very
Correct.
fortunate, and we're very happy with our consoles thus far.
Yeah.
That is very true.
That's a
very,
good point.
Very true. We've been doing much the same. I did see my parents earlier this week for a joint birthday / their anniversary
Aw.
dinner.
That's right. It was your birthday, Brian. I don't think we said happy birthday on the podcast yet. Happy birthday.
To Brian.
To Brian.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Brian would like Twitch subscriptions for his birthday,
Yeah.
so
Our Twitch audience right now is like, oh, they're celebrating it again. 'Cause this is probably the 4th time, if you've been watching Twitch, that we've wished Brian a happy birthday.
sometimes people ain't on one day. You can do it again.
Hey,
That's right.
Or people got to get
You
on
never
more.
know.
Twitch.tv/Taste of Dragons. Don't miss any birthdays.
Hey, there was no friend zone this week. I had to come up with a hook, okay? It happened to be my belated birthday bash.
It's a damn good hook.
That's right.
It was the right hook. Kabam.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Or a hook hand. Arr.
Ooh,
Oh, no.
meat hook.
It's on a car
Meat
door.
hook.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
all
Monkey
right.
Island reference. Joe
Sure.
gets it.
And a butcher reference.
It is.
Joe likes
but
both
speaking
those
of which,
things.
let's get into our
Butchers and Monkey Island.
games this week.
Do.
What are you playing?
That'll be fun to edit again, Joe. won't
Oh,
it?
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not missing that.
Everyone should know that we're on serious lag between the 2 houses, just so
Yes.
you know.
Yeah, just so you know. But Troy, would you like to begin us off this week?
Oh, good, because I would love to go first. I love being first. I love being the first one that gets to do things and the first person that is... Damn it. Okay, hold on. Take a breath, Troy. Everything's good. Oh. So I played Astrobot this week.
Which is a very fun game.
Which is a built-in PlayStation 5 title, which is joyous. If you listened to the last podcast, which you should, and if you haven't, go take a little gander. Lewis talked about how loving and beautiful and inviting this pack-in PlayStation original title is. It's nostalgic, and it gives you all the warm feelings. Until a friend of the podcast suggested to me to try these competitive timed run like levels. And I was like, oh, I don't know. He's like, just give it a try. And then I did it and I beat his score. And then it showed that I beat his score. All of a sudden, this thing happened, Mandy. This ravenous beast within the pit of my stomach said, you must get them all. You must be number 1 in all the levels.
That's your Aries coming out.
Yeah.
I know you normally ignore it, but
I am Aries, and that bull is usually very tucked in. Is it a bull? The ram. That ram is usually very tucked away, but whoa, did the horns come out. I went and demolished every single one of our friends' scores within the hour and was like, yeah, take that. And I thought it would end. Instead, my week has been our friends continuously one-upping me and then me being like, no!
To give you an idea of how ridiculous this has been, I went to bed and I woke up and I had 65 mixed text messages of them just being like, yeah, you thought that was okay? You thought you won. You thought 35 seconds was here's 33.2. Take that.
It's been so much playful toxicity mixed with the most vibrant, innocent game. And the developers knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing. And I know PlayStation knows what they're doing because I'll tell you why. Because you could be playing another game like Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which we'll talk about later. And while you're playing that game, if another one of your friends beats your score, you get a notification that says, you want to reclaim your score? It doesn't say the part, but I hear it. It's implied. Okay? And then, of course, you just press one button. It tells you their score, and it's like, play. And this is actually one of the cool features that the PlayStation 5 offers. It's that everything is really quick. It's very fluid when you're going back and forth. And so if you press play to try and contend or to reclaim your score, your high score, the PlayStation takes you right to that level. You don't have to go back to the Astrobot's loading screen. You don't have to press any buttons to get to that level. You don't have to run to get there. It just takes you right to that moment, that's PlayStation 5. That's next generation in my mind. And then you get there, and then you I lose my mind trying to beat it. I beat it, and then you feel really good, and you have good self-esteem until someone decides to stream the game 1 week after it comes out for their birthday, Brian.
Hey, I genuinely did not think I was going to beat your guys' score. Genuinely. I did not think that was going to happen.
You're trying to make it sound like, oh, no. It just sounds like, oh, I wasn't even trying. Oh, this star? I wasn't even. I didn't know I could beat it. But you guys suck so badly.
I heard that you even had a master Astrobot player come join your stream.
That's right.
I did. Yeah, some guy came in when I was doing the very last level, and he was like, "Oh, hey, I have the #1 score on this level." And we're like, "Yeah, okay." And then we looked it up, and he has the #1 score on that level.
In the world.
Shout out to T-Bone.
T-Bone.
Shout out to T-Bone 350. He came in low key, just kind of watching. Because, hey, if you had the highest score in the world on this level, I'd be watching everybody too. Be like, no, you don't. No, you don't. No, you
Rookie
don't.
mistake. You didn't jump. You only jumped.
But what was even cooler about T-Bone 350 is that after we kind of figured out, oh, you're #1 in the world. You're like low-key an Astrobot celebrity. He then was like giving out tips and stuff. Like, okay, try to make this jump or use the ramp this way.
Go diagonal.
Yeah. I got to talk to him a little bit today. He came to a stream of ours and whatnot, and he did mention, he's like, yeah, I was on top, and the top 3 people in the world weren't close to me, so I went on their streams and actually gave them tips.
Oh, nice.
He's like, because it's no fun if you're just #1. Then there's nothing else to play.
I'm not getting those cool notifications while I'm playing Assassin's Creed.
Exactly. So it's great. He's just a regular dude, but literally he has professional Twitch speedrunners trying to catch up to him right now.
Aww.
Currently, as of this recording, he's still #1 by the little bits, but it doesn't count. Still #1.
Still #1.
But still, Brian, I had to watch Brian on stream one by one demolish my self-esteem little bit by little bit. I haven't even touched Astrobot since, but I will.
By
Brian.
the end of that night, I actually had all 8 of the top scores.
I know you do. I haven't got back yet. I got other games to play, okay? But I will.
As of 1 hour ago, Hassel did reclaim one of them, though.
There you go.
So
Hassel,
I do have
check
to go
him out
back
on Fridays on twitch.tv/Taste of Dragons.
Yes.
I think for me, nothing beat watching that stream and watching you guys actually tell each other, don't watch. It's not okay.
It's too painful.
It
was too painful.
Oh, it was brutal. I was watching it. I was like, "You're a monster, Brian. This is not right."
You're a
They
monster.
had been doing it all week. So I was like, "Oh man, their scores has got to be just astronomically out of there." Especially because they were really talking up like Lewis's score on one of the levels, and I was like, "Oh, there's no way I'm going to touch this. There's no way." And then I beat it by 3 seconds?
Yeah, you did. I can't fathom how he did it. And I am even more flabbergasted how you did it. I can't. I'm beside myself. It's insane. It's impossible. It's impossible.
Yeah, this has been the our friend group's week. It's just been Astrobot.
Yeah.
Speedrunning.
So Astrobot went from the sweetest game in the world to literally the most cutthroat thing I've done this year.
That's so PlayStation. So PlayStation. All right. So that is Astro's Playroom. And then now, what about you, both Joe and Manda? What did you guys play this week?
The best game ever.
Oh, the best game ever.
I don't know about the best ever, but it's pretty great. It's pretty darn great.
I think we have a differing of opinion here. What are y'all talking about?
Assassin's Creed Valhalla came out. And I dove headfirst into that. I had finished my Watch Dogs and I had some time. So I picked up my Viking axe and my shield and my mead horn.
Gotta have your mead horn.
And I jumped in headfirst and I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, I haven't played an Assassin's Creed since the third one, so for me, this was like jumping in a very different place than I thought I was going to be in, and it's pretty great.
What's funny is that, Joe, you played the last game that had a dedicated like axe as a weapon, and there hasn't been a dedicated axe till this game. I think you just like Assassin's Creed.
Oh. Yeah, Joe won't play a video game
jokes.
if there's no axe.
That's fair. I like to axe him.
She has an axe to grind, is what she's saying.
I like to ask him some questions.
But how you guys liking the game, though?
I like it a lot. I have had a serious problem, though, while playing it, and I blame Ghost of Tsushima for everything. I am so mad at how good Ghost of Tsushima was because I played this and I go, oh, you know what? I really missed the wind thing. I kind of wish that it was the wind showing me which way to go instead of oh, you know, it's cool. This is cool. Oh, I have to pulse this button up like 8 times to see every different way. Oh, I mean, it would be really nice if I could just press the button once and it would just show me where the red little spiky pieces are. But that's okay. This is cool. Damn it, Ghost of Tsushima. You are wrecking my Assassin's Creed for being so organic and fluid. It is killing me. But I like it.
It's really funny because Assassin's Creed Valhalla is ruining Animal Crossing for me. Because Animal Crossing is like, hey, you've been waiting really long for these fall colors, and we're finally going to give you fall colors. And then Assassin's Creed is like, you think that's what fall looks like? Ha 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 ha. Like, this is fall. It is so beautiful. And the way that light hits your boat, and like you'll come over a mountain, and it'll just be these gorgeous colors and endless fields, and the autumn leaves falling down, and it's so lovely.
I am unbelievably impressed with the snow and the sound as you run around in the snow.
Yeah.
I don't tend to play games very loud. Ghost of Tsushima is probably one of the first games I had played where I could actually hear all of the sound in it for a long time. So playing this, when I started, I wasn't playing it with hearing the audio that well. I just wanted to hear the voice actors. I didn't need a lot of the other stuff. I plugged headphones in, and as I was drudging through the snow, I was like, whoever designed the sound for this is a genius. You different types of steps you make different sounds in the snow.
And you can feel it with the controller
amazing.
too, with the new controller.
Yeah. It's gorgeous. The game is so beautiful, and it's really fun because the last time I had this much fun climbing and things was Breath of the Wild, and before Breath of the Wild it was Assassin's Creed.
There you go.
Yes.
So it was really kind of nice to be back in that place where, do you see that over there? You can climb it.
Anything.
Climb
Literally
whatever you want.
anything.
It doesn't matter.
And you don't have to worry about stamina though, which
Right.
is even better than Breath of the Wild in a way.
So I'm super curious. I know when Joe was talking about Assassin's Creed, she said one of the things that turned her off was the boat mechanics. So I'm curious, do you
in
like
Assassin's Creed 4?
Yeah,
Black Flag.
do you like your longship?
No.
What? I love
so
the long.
amazing.
I love the long ship.
Okay, as soon as they gave me the ability to take command, I was like, why? Can't someone else do this part? I'll just sit here. And then they gave me a button to just follow the coast, and I was like, I'll just sit here with beautiful camera angles. You guys sing your songs, tell your stories. Boop, hit the X. I don't have to do anything.
What you're doing is exactly what I do. I just put it on like auto cruise, and then I listen to the music and check my phone because there's no more loading screens. When else am I supposed to check my phone? So actually, the fact that they give you the option to be like, hey, you could do this yourself, or put it on autopilot and just enjoy the scenery and the music. That's what I think is actually a great addition.
Especially the
to it.
stories I'm really enjoying.
I haven't done any
Some
stories
of them
yet.
are really short, but some of them are actually really good.
How do the stories work?
So if you press R1 while you're on the boat, instead of singing like a random traveling song, someone on the boat will tell you a story. Occasionally it's your friend, and all of his stories are like, I was the best at this, or I killed 100 people, or like I was in town and all 7 of the women wanted to sleep with me. And they always interrupt him, and then they laugh at him. It's like an ongoing bit.
Yeah, I totally stopped listening to them singing songs altogether because I heard one of that dude's stories, and I was like, I don't ever want to not hear stories.
Oh man, I'm missing out. I haven't done the story thing at all yet.
I forget his name. What's the guy
Dag?
who doesn't like you? Dag.
Dag?
They're all Dag stories, yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. I'm gonna have to try that.
It's phenomenal. But I do agree. I actually really like that it gives me the option to not really have to control the boat. I can hit the square, and then I can just enjoy the scenery. I can just enjoy the story. I do think it takes, like most things with boating games, it takes a while to get to places, but that's kind of cool too, because that means the map's really nice and big.
Yes.
I'd rather have more to do than less.
We can all agree about the best part of the game, though, right? Which is the Orlog dice game.
Orlog dice. Orlog.
It's I really enjoyed Gwent when I played The Witcher, and Orlog it's not Gwent, but it's definitely like a highlight of this game where you'll sit down to play. You know, I was like, maybe I'll get like 50 gold out of this interaction, but no, you just spend all night really enjoying, genuinely playing this game within a game.
Yeah, when Joe discovered it, I think she played it for like 2 or 3 hours at least the first nights, and I was like, "You okay, Joe? You
Like,
good?"
Yeah, I'm good. I'm just really mad that this person has 2 God favors and I only have 1, and then theirs is like cheating. But I don't care. I will beat them. I
really hope that it gets popular enough that someone develops an Orlog side game like they did with Gwent. I could just play it on my phone, and then we can play each other in Orlog. Yeah.
It's really
Yes,
hard.
please. Yes.
It's really hard to make a captivating game within a game.
Right.
Because sometimes it can be really gimmicky and shallow, and then it's like, whatever, I'll do it once, but I don't need to do it. But something about this game has the right mixture of luck and strategy.
Yeah.
It's like dice and chess and Hearthstone kind of all smashed up in one in a very arcadey way. It's not too complicated, but it's deep enough that you can actually put some fun strategy into it. And if you have those elements, it's just, I get excited every time I get to a new town and I see there's someone new to play in Orlog.
Dice Icon.
Yes, I'm like, let's go.
Or flighting.
And those matches can be long. Flighting, yeah.
Or flighting. I know we talked about this. Did we talk about this?
I called it rap battling in the last episode, I think.
You did.
It's rhyme battling, Viking rhyme battling. I've done like 3 or 4 of them. So you square off against a person, and then they give you a line, and then you have to reply to their line, but you're like insulting them while replying, and you have a bunch of options. So it's neat because you have to identify the rhyme, but then you have to identify the rhyme and the pacing and the content. Because sometimes you can have the correct rhyme and the correct pacing, but then like you go too far, you go too hard, or you go too soft. It's not harsh enough of an insult.
It's not on topic.
But it's all of the rhyming has been very cute. I've really enjoyed it. It's very silly.
It all feels like it's the first scene of a Shakespearean play, where they're like a comedy where they're just making fun of each other back and forth.
Yeah, but if Shakespeare was also kind of like Dr. Seuss, because they're not like thee, and then I smite you with the. They're like.
Yeah, it reminds me more of like, I guess, Wesley from Princess Bride.
Yes.
Having like a battle of wits back and forth.
Yes. It's very insult sword fighting.
Yeah.
Monkey Island reference.
Have you guys played the drinking game? I actually really like it because once you've drank too much, you walk away and you're super messed up for a little while as you walk around. I find that very humorous.
I'm no good at it, but I think it's fun.
I am really good at that game. You can bet on that game to have the drinking competition, and I bet fully every time.
I'm good until I lose it, and then I lose it hard, which is just like drinking.
Just like real life. Yeah. But it's something great. I love that we have a game where we're Vikings and we're drinking out of a horn and we're chugging. Like it's a fantastically packed game.
And we're not even very far into it. There's gonna have I don't even think we've finished all the mechanics yet.
I would.
It's so full.
I would caution both of you all on pace.
Yeah.
A lot of times, if you try to do everything all the time, by the time you get to the middle or end, you're just gonna get burned out. Or just like take a break, chill. It's an adventure game. It's made to kind of, you relax into it, not necessarily hit it hard. Don't play it to beat it, is what I'm saying. Play it to just continue the journey. That's what I'm saying, coming from Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Yeah.
One of these, thank you for bringing up Odyssey. I had no idea what Odyssey was about, and now I feel like I should stop playing this and go play Odyssey first because I really like the idea of Odyssey. But I'm going to do that next. That's my plan. One of these weeks, we do need to have a in-depth Assassin's Creed. I have a lot of questions.
I'm ready.
And I know you are the
answers.
Assassin's Creed master.
Yes. Troy needs to have a short synopsis of the out of history story. Because he can catch us
the
up to
present day
speed in
stuff, or the
present day,
things that happened, or the time from before, those who came
Both of
before.
those.
Okay, all right, I got you.
Yeah,
I got it all. I'm ready.
Troy is also known as the human animus. In case you were wondering.
We call it the humanist.
The humanist. There you go.
You're our lore librarian.
Lorbian.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop.
Lorbian.
Yeah, we're gonna stop. We're gonna
I'm
moving
no
on.
longer
So
saying
that
sentences.
was
I'm just combining what you guys are saying. I don't know what bit this is.
that was Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Nice. Then coming up next, or coming up last, is me, and that's this week I've played GodFall. This is a Destiny-like game where you are using swords instead of guns. You are doing nothing but using melee weapons. So you have a bunch of different weapons to choose from. You have a long sword. You can use a giant hammer. You can use a great sword. You can use a polearm. All I'm saying is it's stuff you can swing. That's all it is.
No ranged weapons.
What else do you need?
That's all you need. Just like Destiny, its story is razor thin. It is.
There's a god. It falls. What do you want?
It is the barest of stories to get you by, to get you to the next level, to get you to the next thing. But it is a whole lot of fun. Also, just like Destiny, its combat is extremely on point.
Okay.
I am enjoying the absolute heck out of the combat mechanics. With the whole parrying, slashing, heavy slashing, evading, it is extremely tight on those controls, and I'm loving it so far. It is. I actually just got credits, I should say. I didn't beat, but I got credits today, and I'm doing the after stuff now.
You're in the end game now.
Yeah, it's great.
Doctor Strange.
I am in the
Adventures.
end game.
It was
now.
more colorful than I expected it to be.
Oh yeah, it
It's
looks
very
beautiful.
vibrant.
That armor suit, that
Yeah.
future knight in shining armor suit you have is so shiny.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And detailed.
Yeah, it's basically like you're playing like almost like a watercolor painting.
Wow.
It is so just bright and vibrant. And that's how pretty much every single level is too. You start off in like the Earth realm, and then you go like with Avatar, you go to the water realm after that, and then the last realm is the air realm. And they all kind of look
the Avatar
similar,
comes out,
but
yeah.
they
Yep.
Yep,
yeah,
yep.
then the Avatar comes out. Exactly. You unfreeze them from the ice, and then it's all good.
Win.
If they did that and then just did the entire storyline of Avatar,
No, but they do the movie
it would be
version.
so funny. No.
Oh
Is it
no!
Sokka?
Oh no!
What do they call him? The Avatar.
Yeah, the Avatar.
Oh my god! Ong. Oh man, it's bad. But no,
Ong?
Godfall.
Sorry.
No, I'm with you. But if you like Destiny type mechanics, I think you'll really enjoy this game. Also, just like Destiny, it seems like the end game is also pretty shallow for right now. I'm still working through it, but it is just, hey, get better, pieces of armor, get better levels. That's all it pretty much is. You're just kind of replaying older stuff.
Okay.
But I do recommend it if you do like that sort of game. Even if you just like a Dark Souls type game where you are, where things are really hard. This game is great. It's a definitely. I'm really glad I bought it as a launch
Awesome.
title.
Is it available on PlayStation 4 or anything else?
I don't believe so. I think it's PlayStation 5 and it's a Epic Store exclusive.
Wow. Okay, good to know. So we all played things on the PS5 this week. Look at us.
Yep.
Look at that. We're on brand for,
We're flexing.
actually utilizing our money that we spent.
We did it for our listeners
All that
so that
money.
you guys would hear about the cutting edge of
right.
gaming technology.
I'm in debt for you. For you.
That's right. That's right. So yeah, that was my game, Godfall. And then that'll do it for our games. Now brings us to our news segment.
News.
All right. And this week, let's start with something, just a little weird. And that comes from, you guessed it, Japan. A free phone game called Encore, where you battle enemies and talk to anthropomorphic gut bacteria, was released.
What?
That's right, you heard it. Gut bacteria that takes the shape of anime waifus.
Oh, I didn't. Ooh, that took a left turn. Okay.
They take care of you.
I guess.
But
yeah.
it's for a good reason. It's for a good reason.
Go
It was
on.
developed to help users track their bowel movements and help raise awareness if they might have a problem
track
going on
their
inside of them.
actual bowel movements in real life.
Their actual bowel
poops.
movements. Yes.
And-
what they do is in the actual game, when I think they can, if they say they're using the restroom at the time, if they're playing it on the bathroom, they can say what color and what shape and all the other things that it actually looks like. And if it detects a pattern, it could tell you, hey, some things are not looking good. You should probably see a doctor.
Oh my gosh. And then you date your poop?
What? No.
Exactly. Yeah.
I just want to know where the waifu part comes in.
Yeah. It was actually spearheaded by a gastrointestinal surgeon because screenings are lower for colon cancer in Japan. And hopefully by using this app, it can actually help some people.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Even though it's got a really weird premise, hey, if it might help some people.
Yeah, if it
that's what
works.
matters.
I feel like that could happen
Yeah.
with us, except it would have to be like Pokemon or something.
Pokemon poop?
No, yeah.
They got Pokemon sleep. They're going to have Pokemon poop.
Pokemon poop.
Pookemon?
Peekapoo.
Poopy man.
Poopy man.
Oh, we've devolved.
But they would do that.
They would. They would.
They would.
They would totally
They would.
have a bowel tracking Pokemon game.
I could also see them having a potty training game called Poopy Man.
Yeah. They already have the
Yeah.
teeth brushing one.
Yeah.
So, and the sleeping
They
one.
do, that's
so,
true.
Hey, pooping isn't too far off. Get your colons checked.
That's right.
Otherwise, what's ghastly will be after you.
Oh, nice. And then speaking of keeping the doctors away, Apple this week announced that developers earning under $1 million a year will only have a 15% cut taken out of their sales versus the normal 30%. This is great news for small developers and great PR for Apple, who is still in a court battle with that Epic over its Apple Store fees.
We're the good guys. Look.
Oh yeah, we're doing all this good. And actually, in reality, though, it will do very little to the Apple's bottom line because as only 5% of the Apple Store's revenue is from developers making less than $1 million a year. So, I mean, it's still great for those developers. I mean, hey, if I were to release something on the App Store, I think it'd be great for them to only take 15% versus 30%. But, general, actual big picture,
Wait, 95% of the clients on Apple are making more than $1 million.
No. They're the sales. So actually 98% of their developers that are actually using the service will qualify for this. However, out of those 98%, they only make up 5% of its revenues. The other 2% makes up 95%
Of the revenues. Gotcha.
of the revenues.
So, like,
yeah.
Fortnite
So-
makes
Right,
lots
right,
and lots of
right,
money.
right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Or it used to.
I'm going to love to see how Apple will find every legal way to give discounts to everyone that uses Apple except Fortnite. And yeah, if you don't
don't
have
doubt
any emotes in your games, then you also get a cut.
Yeah, if your game starts with any letter except for F, yeah.
You get a cut.
If your game name doesn't mean 14 days, you get a cut.
This is going to be fun and horrible.
Yeah,
but
it
fun.
is. Yes. But, at least good on Apple. There is a little something that they did. And then we also have some Game of the Year announcements, right, Joe?
Why, yes, there was. There was a couple games, actually, that are on there that are dope games. I can tell you what they are.
Oh, yeah.
There are 6 of them right now. There is Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Ooh.
Nice.
There's Doom Eternal.
What?
There is Final Fantasy VII, the remake.
Of course.
Everybody knew that was going to be. There's Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
Ching.
What?
There's Hades.
Ooh.
And there's The Last of Us Part 2.
I do like we try to put sound effects to each one of them.
Some of them don't make sense, but they are all
don't.
got sound effects.
That's what I think of when I think
They're
of
all
Last of Us
still
2. Man, I
I'm
really
actually
am
very
thinking about
happy that
playing with the
Hades
other
is in
person.
there.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Two sides to every coin. That's a pretty good list
I'm
of
really
games.
happy about it, too.
Yeah.
I was a little. I'm really sad that Cyberpunk did not come out in time. I mean, of
Yeah.
course, I know that they couldn't, but this really did seem like Cyberpunk's year for this.
I'm mostly sad that they won't be considered next year. You
They
think if
have
they
to.
didn't make the cut that they would push them?
They will.
Okay. Then I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
It's just always weird when you're talking about a game that came out in the previous year,
Right.
currently.
Right. Okay.
But hey, at least it gives. If Cyberpunk is as good as everyone is saying it's going to be, then hey, I'm glad it gave Doom Eternal a chance to get up. Sorry, I'm not a fan of Doom.
Ouch. Gosh, people love that game.
No.
Shots fired, man.
I didn't like the first Doom.
Okay, I'm not a Doom hater or anything. I actually really love Doom. But I actually kind of love this list because it is so all-encompassing.
Yeah.
Like, every walk of gaming life is on here, including an indie, which I think is really cool.
Yeah.
I don't think that happens enough to where you have some, like, old school fan favorites. You've got things people were waiting a decade for. You've got things that have been around forever. And I love this list. I think it's great. And I'm actually really glad Cyberpunk's not on it because I feel like Cyberpunk will have a better chance next year then.
Right.
Yeah. So out of this game list, what would you guys choose
I'm
for
torn.
your game of the year?
I'm torn.
For me, it's easy. It's Final Fantasy VII Remake, just because, I'm biased.
I only played Animal Crossing, so Animal Crossing. Although Hades gets an honorable mention because I did buy that soundtrack.
True.
I think Ghost of Tsushima and Last of Us are better than Animal Crossing, but Animal Crossing has meant more to me in 2020 outside of the game. Like, it's done more for me as a person going through this year than the other two games have. Objectively, I would probably go Last of Us.
It's like a utility more than a game.
It kind of saved a lot of... Never mind. We talked about it many times. It's been a very important game.
Yes,
for the
absolutely.
quarantine.
Troy, I have the same problem, only for me it's Ghost of Tsushima and Animal Crossing.
Right.
I think Ghost of Tsushima is actually a perfect game. I think everything that they did in that game is as perfect as one of those kinds of games can be. Down to the narrative, down to everything, the sound, the color, the mechanics. And then I think about how much Animal Crossing is meant to me, though, and as much as I love Ghost of Tsushima, man, I love Animal Crossing. It's so hard to be unbiased.
You love it so much
but
you're willing to overlook all of its many flaws.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think for me, I unfortunately would go Ghost just because I think it's harder for a new game to become as beloved as a game that I have loved for most of my life.
That's fair.
So I feel like Ghost of Tsushima probably deserves it. Biasly, I really love Animal Crossing, so yeah.
and if Lewis was here, he would say Last of Us. Hands down, not even a second
Absolutely.
thought.
Yes, hands down.
Last of Us 2.
Yeah, not a second thought. I agree. And then IO Interactive announced a new game they are working on. The Hitman developers are making a James Bond game tentatively called Project 007. It will be an original James Bond origin story where he's earning his 00 status. No release date yet, but I don't expect this releasing next year.
Okay.
That's just me. So how do you guys feel about this game?
Yeah.
I think it's kind of cool.
It's weird when I think so many games have just been trying to make James Bond already. Like, so many games are based off of, this is like James Bond. Look at this guy running around saving the day and action sequences and boats and whatnot. So it's cool to get James Bond back in the flagship action title role, I guess.
It sounds fun.
I wonder if they'll use Daniel Craig or like an original James Bond.
Yeah, his last film's going to come out.
Yeah.
I would go with original.
It's an
I would
original?
go with original because it is like a prequel.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
right.
It's an original story.
Maybe they'll do that weird thing where they make young CGI Daniel Craig. He's like a
They didn't
teenager
reboot it.
with
so
big ears.
Who's the first James Bond?
Sean Conn.
Oh, they should definitely make it Sean Connery. In fact, I would go out on a limb and say that if they don't make it Sean Connery, that people will riot, right?
I don't know.
Because he's just...
I don't know. Sean Connery's got a lot of
geez.
controversy wrapped around with him. It may not be a great move to do that.
Yeah.
You may want to further yourself from Sean Connery at this point. Huh?
I wouldn't even go the Sean Connery route. I would go, as long as it's like GoldenEye, I don't care.
Oh, yeah. Make
I don't care
GoldenEye.
what Bond it is. As long as it's like GoldenEye.
Yeah.
We cool. Just remake GoldenEye. Hitman people, just make GoldenEye, and we're good.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair. And then Cyberpunk 2077 is getting a mode where streamers won't get DCMA notices, which is always good news. By turning on the mode, it will replace all the licensed music with music that is royalty free.
What a cool
so
feature.
that's pretty cool.
That's in
I
the
do
game?
like that. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be in the game.
What? That's so smart.
Yeah.
Damn it. They thought of everything.
I think with everything going on this year with the DCMA notices, I expect many more games either having this mode or just opting to not have licensed music in their game entirely. Personally, that's what I think.
This could go real bad for the music industry.
Yeah,
Oh,
it could.
gosh. It's just extra revenue they'll be missing out on.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the comments I saw when I was reading this was one of the user comments said it will be replaced with Kids Bop Cyberpunk. And I really, really want that now.
Yes.
I wonder if people will just pay more up front for music.
They might. I don't know if they would.
So you're not going to pay me royalties. So instead of paying $100,000 for this song plus royalties, you're just going to pay me $2 million up front, and then I won't get royalties. Well, I mean, but they may have paid you $2 million over 2 years. But knowing that I'm not going to get that, it wouldn't necessarily mean I, as an artist, I'm not going to get paid. It would just mean that my pay would be different.
Yeah, there's a transition happening right now. I'll be interested to see how it all falls out.
When Brian told me this, I was reminded of a YouTuber whose song he had done all the right things for. He had paid the artist and everything, but some new company bought the rights to that old company, and he had the song that he was using for 100+ episodes constantly getting DCMA'd, and he kept saying, no, I paid the artist when they were like no one. I paid them for lifetime rights of this. Like, I already did all the right things, and nothing could happen. So what he decided to do was pay a person on YouTube who creates crappy recorder versions of songs, like really crappy recorder versions of songs. And he paid that guy to make the song that he uses in a crappy recorder. So then I immediately went to Cyberpunk, every song done on a crappy recorder.
Yes. That'd be amazing. That'd be great. And then speaking of Cyberpunk awesomeness, Manda has some news for us.
Recently, Konami worked with Open Biotics to design a new biotic arm based on Venom Snake's design from Metal Gear Solid.
Yes.
So the actual biotic arm itself was already being manufactured, but they made new skins so that you can walk around looking like Snake.
Ooh, this is specifically Metal Gear Solid 5.
Correct.
Or Metal Gear Solid V, I think is the correct pronunciation. It's important. So you can have a robot arm.
Yes.
That works. That is prosthetic or metal, or what is it?
I don't think it's metal. It looks like it's like hard plastic. But basically, the prosthetic arm already existed. It's already being in production. People have it, but it has interchangeable plates, so you can change the designs of it. The Metal Gear Solid arm is their latest iteration, but they have other stuff. They have like Star Wars and Disney, and you can get different plates for it. They sell the arms both for adults and for children.
That's
but it's
really cool.
The guy that they interviewed was like, I'm really into video games, and I think it's super cool that I can walk around with Snake's arm.
That's great.
That's awesome. Nice. Well, thank you for that bit of news, Manda. And now we have my favorite segment, which is Turn Up for What?
Turnip for what?
And this week is with Joe from Katsusando.
Welcome to another sweet week in Animal Crossing. The maple leaves have begun to fall, so nab your net and catch some of the leaves flowing in the wind. Aside from just being cool, they're also used to make the bounty and the harvest DIYs. The newest and last update of this year is available this week. The update brought us new hip hairstyles, some brand new reactions, the data for the 2 new holidays coming up, and the most important thing of all, the ability to upgrade your storage. Make sure your loans are all paid off before you talk to Tom Nook to acquire the extra storage. It comes with the hefty cost of 500,000 bells you've got to pay up front. But it's so worth it. Turkey Day and the festive reindeer days are coming soon, and it's looking like you'll be able to use the new reactions to enjoy sitting and hanging out with all your villagers during them. And that's your slice of Animal Crossing pie. This is Joe from Katsusando signing off and reminding you to look up at the shooting stars, watch your step to avoid pitfalls, and always save your rusted parts.
Turnip for what?
All right, thank you so much there, Joe. So that'll do it for our news segment. Now brings us to our Mighty Morsel Tasty Topic.
Mighty Morsel Tasty Topic.
Again, good luck editing that, Joe. And this week it's going to be brought to us by Manda.
Yes, in light of all the shenanigans that went on this week with Astrobot and the competitions and the text at 2 a.m, we thought that we would talk about pack-in launch titles. So games that come either directly installed or packaged with consoles. So we've had many examples throughout the years with the different consoles, such as like Wii Sports when the Wii came out, or the Astrobots with the PS5.
Super Mario World for the SNES, Mario Brothers for the NES.
In honor of these games, we thought we would design our own perfect pack-in launch title.
For
a new console.
Our own console, the Taste of Dragons console.
We're not going to talk about the console right now because, I mean, we could go in depth about the console. This is just the game that comes with our console.
For the Todd box?
For the Todd box, yeah. For the PS Todd.
For the PS Todd. TOD. Taste of Dragons.
The Todd Box 10.
The Toddbot said.
Todd Box Series X -2.
No, we're focusing on the game, guys. We're focusing on the game.
Birth after sleep.
So if this week has proven anything, I think the game has to have a competitive aspect to it.
Yes, because replayability.
Right.
I think that's the key. Something that you could go into and be able to either be better at it or you find new things within it.
Right. It has to have dragons in it.
I like that. For me, it's almost always going to be if you have a new feature with that console, like with Wii Sports, it was to show you how to actually use the Wii motes.
Right.
With Astrobot, it's actually showing you how to use the new features and how they interact with you and how they feel. For me, that's what a built-in launch title or a built-in game would have.
So for us,
if
it
you
would
have
be
any sort of thing that's new.
So for us, it would be the built-in fire breathing feature, right?
For the Todd Box?
Yes.
For the Todd Box, yeah.
Yeah. Your controller breathes
Absolutely.
fire.
Yes, or you breathe fire into the controller to move things around.
Yes, if you have the capability to breathe fire.
Yeah,
then
like
please
dragons do. Yeah.
Well, we are dragons.
Yes.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
true. We just take human form sometimes. If you see us. For me, it's got to have the general appeal. And I don't think that, I'm not saying that in a way that's like, it's got to be general enough. I think it's actually very hard to appeal to many different ages.
To be cute enough, but not too cute.
Yes.
To be, action-packed, but not gory.
Yeah, the fact that I know that a 10-year-old could have picked up Astro's Playroom and had a fantastic time, and then ourselves, who are in our 30s, picked it up and had an amazing time as well. Two different experiences maybe, but both are really filled with joy and awe and whatnot.
Same thing with Wii Sports. Same thing with Super Mario.
Sports.
Yeah.
Correct. Exactly. That's really hard to pull off.
Yeah.
A lot of times either video games will pander too much to kids and then it's either boring or lame for the adults, or they go too hard into it with on the adult side with systems or management, and the kids are like, this is boring. It's very hard to hit that balance. So that's what it would need. That balance, the general balance.
I think it needs to have nostalgia. I think it has to, because I was in the same boat you were in, Troy, where it needs to be something that speaks to everyone. But I think it actually needs that taste of, hey, here's a nod and a wink to something that if you've been around forever, you are going to love this. And for me, it needs that. It needs that wink and that nudge, the reminder of, hey, remember what this made you feel like when you were a kid?
Yeah, for Astrobots, they had the nods to the other games in there. For the Wii Sports, they had like little like Super Mario kind of like icons that you could get, or like little figures that would sit around your Wii Plaza. So I can see that to kind of like wink back at previous versions.
Yeah, for the Todd Box, it would actually have a ranking of dragons inside of it.
Oh,
And
ranking of dragons!
I missed that feature. Oh, for our OGs out there, for our non-OGs, we used to rank every single video game dragon in video game history.
We're gonna go back to it one day.
One day we'll finish that list.
And the game would also be perpetually winter because of winter.
Oh yeah, another one of our features. Go check out our Instagram. Go back like a year. You'll get it all.
Yeah,
Winter is
you'll
coming,
get
man.
everything.
Winter came and it left.
Like winter's too. It was a season.
I like that. So yeah, I think that's a really good game.
Yeah,
I'm liking that.
Competition, education, general balance, general appeal,
Right.
and nostalgia.
And dragons.
And dragons.
And fire breathing.
And fire breathing.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
sandwiches.
And ranks of dragons and sandwiches. Oh man, if our built-in game was just a sandwich, your console game with a sandwich, tell me that wouldn't be just as good. Is you set up your console,
be.
you sit down, and you eat a sandwich.
That's the perfect system.
That's the perfect system, the sandwich system.
Done.
We do love sandwiches.
Awesome. I like that topic. That was a good topic.
Thank you.
I think Lewis would agree with us. I don't think Lewis would be able to add anything because that's a perfect game.
Perfect.
Perfect game.
Lewis would add murdering.
Oh, that's
Oh,
true.
yeah,
He
there
would.
we didn't say
gosh,
murdering.
We don't need the murdering.
Good thing he's not here this week. Good thing. All right, so that'll do it for our
Mighty More So Tasty topic.
Pacha. They may or may not sound great. And now that brings us to our last segment, which is Dragon of the Week.
Ado. It's the dragon of the week. It's
Ado,
what you
ado.
seek. It's the dragon of the week, and it's not meek. Dragon of the week.
Dragon of the Week is our chance to shine a little light, show a little love to a company, a person, a group of people, anything that has to do with the gaming industry. And this week it's going to be brought to you by Troy.
That's right. Our honorary Dragon of the Week this week is Kenneth C. M. Young, a Scottish freelance director, composer, sound designer, and writer. Now you may be asking, well, what has he worked on? Let me tell you something. Have you heard of a little thing called Tearaway? Maybe Tearaway Unfolded? No. Well, how about this one? Little Big Planet? Yeah.
Ooh.
That game. Also, a game that is very close to our hearts this week, all of the Astrobots. The Astro's Playroom, Astrobot Rescue Mission. This guy knows how to make fun music.
Yeah.
And
his music was whimsical. I loved it.
Yeah, and I have been jamming to his stuff for years. But let's get into who Kenneth Young is. Kenneth Young was born in Edinburgh, Scotland. That's where Mandy and I honeymooned. Edinburgh, a lovely, lovely place, I'd say, right? Mandy?
Yes. I thought that was rhetorical. Normally, this isn't as interactive.
Oh, sorry.
But yes, it was lovely. I really enjoyed it. It was very great, and they had very good food, and we really enjoyed being there. It was rainy, but in a nice way.
And it seemed like the perfect inspiration for him to have a really strong musical upbringing. Kenneth ended up learning violin at the age of 6. Once again, these composers in these video games being overachievers.
We could have been composers if only our parents forced us to learn an instrument before we were in kindergarten.
If only I wasn't playing video games at that age instead of learning a musical skill. But what's funny about what I found out is that he chose not to pursue performance as a career. But what I found from the information, it didn't say whether or not, like, when he chose this. So I just assumed he was 6, was really good, and was like, I think not, mother. Bring me, I don't know.
A sippy cup.
A sippy cup.
I would like a reprise, son, please.
Yeah. Instead, he went on to study an undergraduate degree in music technology at University of Edinburgh. So that's like getting into the nitty-gritty of music, like how to produce and whatnot. That course introduced him to working creatively with sound, and he went on to gain a MA, a master's, in sound design at Bournemouth University, for which he received a distinction. Now, it wasn't until, let's jump to 2004 now. He gets a job with Sony London Studios. That's awesome. He comes in low as a junior sound designer. He worked on action adventures games like The Getaway, which was a cool, like, London, kind of underrated game.
Getaway.
Sweet Arrested Development reference, Mandy.
Thanks, babe.
But he also worked on the sound for Heavenly Sword. That's that Andy Serkis joint, right? Where he plays like 5 different characters.
He's so talented.
Yeah.
We'll talk about him another time.
But pretty much because he was coming in at like a low level at Sony London, he kind of just did whatever they told him to do, which even involved working for the iToy Kinetic, which was kind of the answer to the Kinect.
Oh.
They were very on the nose back then with Sony. He described that period as an apprenticeship, or more like a baptism by fire.
Oh.
Because it's like, hey, here's the iToy. We don't really know what it is. Make it work, you know? In 2007, he left Sony and joined a little startup video game developer known as Media Molecule and worked on a little game called Little Big Planet.
Ooh.
Of course, Little Big Planet is
nothing.
one of the biggest franchises on the PlayStation 3, to the point that Sackboy from Little Big Planet, to me, became kind of the mascot to PlayStation 3 over any other character. Like, kind of synonymous with the brand. And the music in that game was just so, once again, delightful, fun, whimsical. That's like his jam. He goes on to work for Little Big Planet 2 and with Media Molecule, works on Tearaway. Joe and Brian, you guys played Tearaway, right? The PSP game?
Vita.
The PlayStation Vita game? I didn't play that. Do you remember kind of what the music was like, or do you have any memories? I know that was back in 2014.
Oh, yeah. Actually, it's my favorite game that was on the Vita.
Get out of here.
I loved that game. Oh, yeah. Every time a Tearaway happened, like, funny enough, with Astrobot, there was a Tearaway reference, and it was like, hey, it's Tearaway. That was a phenomenal game.
Right.
And the sound design is part part of what made it so great, because every time you touch the back of the screen, your fingers would come up into the game, and the sounds that would happen with all the things around it, it was amazing. That game and Little Big Planet have some of my favorite sound design actually in a lot of it, out of many games. It is amazing.
It is really cool what he does, because he tries different things, and Tearaway was like a folk infused soundtrack that really got him a lot of notoriety out of video games as well. Like BAFTAs and stuff started being like, who's this guy? The British Academy of Video Game Awards nominated him for original music for Tearaway, with a critic who wrote, "It's jarring to hear out-of-tune instruments in a video game. We've come so accustomed to pitch-perfect digital performances that any hint of humanity is startling. I'd like to be startled like this more often." And that's what I think Kenneth really brings to a lot of games. It's kind of a realness. It's a party. It's quirky, yeah. It's quirky, yeah. It's like parties aren't like strict and this is how you go, this is how you're supposed to be, unless it's a Victorian aged themed party, in which case go for it. Otherwise, it's kind of chaotic, right? And I think Kenneth finds a way to take the joy of chaos and then make it into music. And I find that really interesting. So just to go through some of the other games that he's made, Astrobot Rescue Mission, which I say, Tight Might is still my jam. I know I am specifically calling out one soundtrack from that game, but I encourage everybody to give that a listen. It's a little slow, but man, does it burn deep. It's got some stank on it. It's good. It's good. Tight Mites. Just, yeah, check it out.
Tight Mites. It's fun to say, too.
Since 2009, he's been nominated for over 20 different awards in excellence, including Best Sound Design, Excellence in Audio, Best Game Music, Creativity, Original Song. He won in 2019 for his work on Astrobot Music. And I held out on telling you one game that he's worked on, Mandy, because I really want you to know. He also worked on the sound. It was one of the latest things he did before Astro's Playroom. Knights and Bikes.
What?
Yes.
I want to ride my
bike. That's awesome. That sound on that game
is also very
awesome.
joyous.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Kenneth C. M. Young just has found a way to consistently make new, fresh music that sounds like a party that you're invited to. Make sure to check him out. It's always hard trying to talk about composers when we're audio only, because I can't play any of their music, and half of the reason why I love these composers is because of the music they make. So I encourage everyone, please check out his music on YouTube, on soundtracks, but most importantly, go to oddbod.com, where it is his website where he literally breaks down his show process of how to make games, where he goes by Master Kenneth C. M. Young, purveyor of the finest interactive audio curiosities, splendicities, and rounderments. Wonderments. It's written with the curly W. I couldn't quite see it. But check it out. It's a really cool thing. He's a cool guy. He gets music. He gets what he's doing. And it's always great to see someone in the prime of their passion and in the prime of their craft working uninhibited. Kenneth C. M. Young.
That's awesome.
Check him out.
Nice. Well, great dragging this week, Troy. That was a lot of fun. I didn't realize he did that many different games. That's dope.
Yeah, and you don't realize how common those games are until you put them all next to each other, and you're like, those all made me feel great.
Yeah. Unfortunately, though, that brings us to the end of this week's episode. But you can always find us online.
That's right. Check us out at Taste of Dragons on Instagram. That's where we post a lot of our fun extra content, whether it's schedules, fun. Check out our fun content, a schedule. We post reminders to shows we have coming up, fun little questions, games, interactivity. That's the best way you can reach us if you'd like to reach out to us, is through our Instagram. So give us a follow. We have a lot of great podcasts that we follow on there as well. So come on down. Also, make sure to check us out on Twitter at Taste of Dragons. We devote our Twitter account solely to highlighting independent games, little mom and pop games that developers are putting together and try to bring them to the limelight. Mandy, do you have a game that's in the limelight this week that you found?
I do, and today I need the help of you, our listener, because this game is on Kickstarter and it deserves to be a reality. It is called Romancylvania. It is a Castlevania mixed with a Bachelorette style TV show mixed with a dating sim. So you play a Castlevania game to get items to romance different types of monsters, and it is ridiculous. It is absolutely impossibly both strange and funny. Like, one of the ladies that you flirt with is just a scarecrow, but instead of having a low-cut shirt, she just has 2 pumpkins. One of them's got like a little tattoo heart on it. It seems bonkers, and the people very much know what they're going for, and I want to see it. I want to see it become a thing.
What's the name again?
It's called Romancylvania. Their goal is to make it for the Switch, the PS4, the PS5, Steam, Xbox Series X, and Xbox Series S.
Thank you, Mandy. Thank you very much. So check us out on Twitter, but also, we're not done yet. Make sure to check us out on twitch.tv/Taste of Dragons. We are the Taste of Dragons Gaming Network, a group of 6 friends, and we each take a different night of the week and do different fun content. We play games from Fallout 4 to Metal Gear Solid to Fall Guys, Among Us. We do independent games. So whatever you like, we got something for you. Check us out. Give us a follow. Tell your friends. Tell your family. Tell your moms. Tell your dads.
Get a sub for Brian's birthday.
Yeah, it's the ongoing birthday. The birthday that never ends.
It never ends. As long as we get subs, it never ends. All right. So as always, though, my name is Brian.
My name is Troy.
Amanda.
And I'm Joe.
And we are
The Taste of Dragons.
Have a great week, everyone.
Bye.
I will. Thanks, Brian. I'm part of everyone. Stay safe. I appreciate that. You have a great week, too. You too, Mandy.
Taste of Dragons Gaming Podcast, a podcast for everyone's taste.